Cian Brassil, birdleaf.io. Welcome to Irish Startup TV.
Thanks very much.
Would you like to tell us a bit more about Birdleaf and how you're going to revolutionise data?
Yeah, sure. So what we're doing is we allow companies to upload all their customer email addresses to our platform, and then we can tell them what type of customers they have, give them demographic and interest information, and allow them to quickly see who their key customers are and who they should be focusing on.
Good stuff. So everybody potentially has huge lists of email addresses, but it can be difficult to know which email addresses are worth following up with, which aren't.
Exactly, yeah. So like a lot of our customers would have hundreds of thousands of emails in their database, and it's like massively difficult for them to get a picture as to who their top customers are, what their typical customer personas are. There's a lot of guesswork involved in this and a lot of kind of manual labor that goes in. What we can do is automatically tell them, based on those hundreds of thousands of email addresses, what their kind of top customer personas are, who the ones that are most valuable to them are.
And who's most likely to buy.
Exactly, yeah. So we're saving them money on marketing by like identifying who are the top paying customers and what they look like. And then within that, we want our end users to be able to come, they literally just drag and drop their list of emails in, and then it's kind of a simple interface for them to interact with, so you don't have to be too tech savvy to kind of interact with that.
Your own background, you're a computer scientist.
Yeah, so I did IT in anyway Galway. When I was there, I founded my first startup that I ran for about 2 years when I was in college, so that was kind of my initial taste of business experience.
And what was that called?
That was called West Coast Surfer, kind of an online shop and community for surfing. So I ran that for about 2 years. That was kind of gave me the mix of business and tech to go with my degree. Ultimately wrapped that up just before I finished college, and I started CloudDoc with my co-founder of Birdleaf as well, Scott. And then we've actually only started Birdleaf very, very recently. So
we first met you probably 2 years ago at Launch 48 up in the Guinness Enterprise Centre.
Yeah. So that was the very beginning of CloudDoc, and we worked for about 18 months on CloudDoc. Nearly 2 years ago. So we did a lot of work during that time on building a beta. It was a very technical heavy product, trying to understand what type of people were signing up, and ultimately after that time we had a nice beta. We had a lot of signups, but we had no actual paying customers, and we had no revenue in that. So we really took our lessons learned in the last few months, or in the last 2 years basically, and we've been very focused on not repeating those mistakes. We had a lot of time in 2 years where we were like, we know now. So we've really focused on getting product out as fast as we could, and getting paying customers was our focus in the very beginning. So luckily now we have, we've the first kind of 6 good companies on paying, and we've surpassed over €1,000 in recurring revenue. So in 3 months we've gone from the initial idea for Birdleaf to a live product, and now those paying companies on board. So so we've really managed to kind of execute on learning from those mistakes that we had at CloudDoc, and we were lucky enough that myself and Scott could stay together and found this again. We have a good development team as well, so we were able to kind of get started quickly. So.
It's fantastic. If any investors are watching, I'm sure that they'll be very reassured to see that you've already made a lot of the mistakes, and you've already learned an awful lot from the experience, and it's as evidenced by the fact that it's a completely different scenario you're now operating in. And what about Scott? Is he a technical guy as well?
So Scott's background, he did commerce in college, and he did a master's in corporate strategy, so he's more business and commerce marketing background.
It's a great mix.
Yeah, it's a good mix, and he managed a franchise retail store for a couple of years. He managed Windsurfing Centre for a couple of years. He has pretty good kind of sales marketing experience. He did all the marketing for CloudDoc. So one of our most successful aspects of CloudDoc was we actually got quite a high quantity of signups in. We ultimately couldn't make revenue off them, but Scott has a lot of experience on driving kind of good traffic and exploring best routes to market, and that's carried very well into Birdleaf. We've got some really good brands trialing it and some really good brands paying, and that's his sole focus, is sales marketing side of Birdleaf.
That's fantastic. And have you got anything planned in the next couple of months, some interesting things on the roadmap?
Yeah, so we have some really good beta customers on at the moment. It's from the very beginning, and our paying customers are excellent at feedback. So we have an ever-growing roadmap ahead of us of things to do. So we have some really good additions that we're pretty excited to add soon. So Our data quality will be going up a lot. The amount of information we can get on each email will be going up significantly, and we're also doing a lot of additions to make it easier for companies with very high quantities of emails to manage hundreds of thousands of emails on our platform easily without that quantity becoming too overwhelming. So that'll all be in the next couple of months. So it's a busy enough time.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm very excited to see the rapid growth and the rapid transformation in the last 6 weeks. I'm really excited to see that growth continuing over the next couple of months.
Yeah, cheers. So are we, and yeah, we're looking forward to working with more companies and seeing where it kind of goes from here.
So best of luck. Thanks very much
Thanks,
for speaking
Wayne.
to Irish Startup TV.